that, I want to introduce to you, before we start the film, Representative David Price, who used to be my representative before he was gerrymandered away, fodder for another film. And as David comes forward, I also want to say that we are proud to say that David and his wife Lisa received in 2016 the North Carolina Council of Churches Award, Faith Active in Public Life. This is an award that we give to people who live what they believe. And of course, Representative Price and his wife Lisa are those people. David.
Thank you, Jennifer, for those kind words, and thank you for inviting Lisa and me. Lisa's with me tonight. We are very glad to be here, glad to see this degree of interest and support for this film and for the message of the film and for the related cause in North Carolina, which this film illuminates. So we're grateful to be here. We're, as usual, double booked. We're supposed to be at the Durham 150th anniversary celebration. As you may know, that's going on tonight as well. But we're going to stay here to the last possible minute because I know this is a great film. We want to see as much of it as we can. And I appreciate the ability for me to say my word of greetings before the film rather than after. I appreciate that flexibility on your part because I really wanted to be here and to underscore the particular relevance of this national story to the movement and the efforts that have gone on in North Carolina for many, many years. The film's directed, as you know, by Scott Burns. It follows the story of how Senator Dianne Feinstein and Senate Intelligence Committee staffer Dan Jones worked to uncover dark truths about CIA rendition, detention, or interrogation, this program, after the September 11th attacks. The brave and thorough work of Senator Feinstein's team led to the committee's 2014 report, commonly known as the Torture Report, which found that the CIA's, and I'm quoting now, enhanced interrogation techniques were not effective, that the program was poorly managed, and that the CIA intentionally misled Congress and the American public about the program. This film emphasizes the continuing role of Congress, and I'd say the obligation of Congress, to bring light to the mistakes of our country's past. One of the, we saw this again in the Armenian genocide debate this last week in the House. One of the hardest things for a country is to deal honestly with its negative past. Many examples of that from different eras in our country's history all the time. This is a very proximate time of shame and of betrayal of our country's values. It is one that could recur. For all these reasons, it's important to acknowledge this, to get the truth out, and to come to grips with what our country, those people who speak for us and who represent us, what they've done, and also to honor those who have uncovered this and have resolved to not let it happen again. Which brings us to an exceptional group of North Carolinians, the North Carolina Commission of Inquiry on Torture. This is a group probably well represented here tonight. An engaged group of citizens established a non-governmental, non-partisan commission to investigate North Carolina's participation in that CIA rendition program. The commission's seminal report, Torture Flights, refers to the specific North Carolina role. It was released in 2018, found that in the first stage of the rendition program, a private company based in North Carolina used publicly funded infrastructure to conduct over 80% of the identified CIA rendition flights between September 2001 and March 2004. Therefore, North Carolina public infrastructure was involved in the detention and rendition of at least 49 individuals without regard to the rule of law, without regard to due process. According to the report, some of these individuals were ultimately cleared of having ties with terrorism. Some of these individuals continue to suffer from their mistreatment without acknowledgement of the U.S. government. And I'd say all of them continue to suffer from the failure to acknowledge, the failure to even accept the truth and make it public. So these two reports, and I was happy to insert the executive summary of the North Carolina report in the congressional record. These two reports are critical to facing our past and finding accountability and moving forward with integrity. So it's appropriate, I think, for all of us to acknowledge and commend Senator Feinstein and Dan Jones, the others who courageously worked on the 2014 Senate report, and similarly to applaud NCCIT for their steadfast commitment to bringing transparency and accountability to our state's role in this national program. Even in our darkest moments, we must cling fast to basic American values, the rule of law, human rights, and find the courage to speak out when those values, those rights are threatened or violated. We must learn from those mistakes of the past. We must be honest in accounting for the past. But the point of that is to chart a more positive course forward and not to let the dark past recur. And this is a time in our history where I say that with particular emphasis. This must not recur, no matter who the president is, no matter what the administration is. This must not recur. So, we have come to enjoy the film. I guess enjoy is the wrong word. I don't think that's really the spirit of the occasion. I was talking to some who were in the showing last night in Atlanta, and the mood was very sober and very somber, and I'm sure it will be here. We can admire a well-crafted film, a well-acted film, an effective film, but we will, I'm sure, be sobered and I hope renewed in our determination by the message of the film. So with that, I think I'm the only thing between you and the film. So I will sit down, but I'll again thank you for